like everybody else, Lord also is feeling. And Lord is satisfied if somebody offers, whenever we offer prayer, like Patram, Pushpam, Phalam, Toyam, we offer anything, the smallest thing, he gets satisfied. The only thing is love and devotion should be there when we offer this kind of things. But if there is no devotion, then it's no good. So when we offer prayers, he becomes happy. Similarly, when we say bad words to that, why you did this to me, why you did this to me, when we say something like that, then Lord becomes dissatisfied actually. He decried by the Mayavadi philosophers. He is angry on the Mayavadi philosophers, that Mayavadi philosophers think that Lord has no legs, no hand, no no brain, nothing. He's just like a dead person. So how it is possible? If we are alive, why Lord is not alive? We may have heard written many on the many billboards few years ago. I have seen God is dead. How is the God is dead? If the God is dead, then we all should be dead, because we are part and parcel of Krishna. So how we are alive and God is dead? This is all wrong philosophy, and we should never believe in these people, who are atheists. So all these misconceptions of the Supreme Lord are the source of dissatisfaction to him. Anything, which is bad about the Lord, like if we discredit him or do not think about him, then Lord gets mad. In this case, although the Lord felt sorrow for the piercing words of demon, Lord was feeling bad that Hiranyaksha is telling him all these bad words, but he tolerated it because he wanted to keep Mother Earth on proper place because she was frightened. And he is satisfied by our prayers and dissatisfied by harsh word. In order to give protection to his devotees, he is always ready, and he tolerates insulting words from the atheist just to protect his devotees. And we have seen that in many cases, which we will discuss from Bhagavatam. We will discuss few cases, where Lord is compassionate and what he tolerated. So now let us see what kind of bad words we read. The bad words, what Hiranyaksha was telling to Lord. He was telling him jungle animal, one gochara. So he was telling him that he's a animal. His animal means janwar. So he's just like a janwar, jungle janwar. So that's a very bad word actually, that he's telling him as an animal. And other thing he said, told him that he's coward. He has no power. He's very weak, like that. Then he was telling him agya, like he's a fool. And he tells him shameless creature. So there are so many bad words he used. And he says that you are the lowest of the demigods. So by all these bad words, Lord was actually pained very much. So this fight between demigods and demons going on since a time immemorial. Even in Satyuga, there were demons. But in Satyuga, we can see the demons and demigods were living on the separate planets, not on the same planet. So everything was going all right. Like they were in the Patal Lok and all the other planets, not on the same universe. Then we can see that in the Treta Yuga, the demons and Devatas started living on the same planet. Same planet. So we can see Lord Ramchandra was living in India, in Ayodhya, and the Ravan was a demon living in Sri Lanka. So, and then what happens in Treta Yuga? In Treta Yuga, the demon and demigod, they started in the same city even. Like we can see, Vidurji was a very nice person. He is considered as Devta. He was, of course, he was the incarnation of Yamraj. And we can see the Duryodhan at the same, they were living in the same palace. Okay, so they were living in the same city, and that's no problem. They were living that. But in Kali Yuga, we can see the demon and the devtas. They're living in the same body. Like we have all the demonic ideas also, and we have all good ideas also, which are like ideas of the demigods. So we have good, so everybody, we have demonic tendencies and we have great tendencies also. So we, it is all staying in the same body. So Kali Yuga is bad, everybody more or less is demon until unless they become devotee. So that's why in the 16th chapter we read in Bhagavad Gita, we read all the qualifications, how the how the how the good people live, the devatas and good devotees, and what are the demonic symptoms. All the symptoms are described in very great detail, and we should study that. So in this verse, actually, what we are reading, that Varadev was very pained by all these bad words what he was listening. So, but but he saw that on his the end of the tusk, Damsagra, he saw that mother he was carrying Mother Earth. So if he goes to fight right away to Hiranyaksha, then what will happen? Mother Earth will again go in the bottom of the sea. So he didn't want that to happen. So that's why he was carrying Mother Earth. So he first wanted to take care of her. So he brought up and on the surface of the water, and by his mystic power, he just the Mother Earth stayed right there. So Vadahadev actually he did not responded and completely neglected the abusive words. That let him say whatever he want to say. He will not he will not take care of him right this time. He wanted to take care of his devotee Mother Earth. So he how he rose out of water, Nirgad Ambu Madhyat, out of the middle of the rose out of the water from middle of the sea. So he was looking like what we read, crocodile attacks an elephant and elephant comes out after that. So he was looking very majestic that way. So why he did like that? Because he wanted to take care of the Mother Earth first. And he wanted to make his devotees, all the demigods were afraid what is going to happen. So he wanted to make the devotees happy. So devotees is all the time on his first priority list. He will take care of the demons later on. Although he was insulting him, and Lord has all the power to kill the demon, but he said, I will take care of later on. He didn't care about all these abusive words. So he was very tolerant. We can see the tolerance of the Supreme Lord, how he is tolerating all these abusive words. So here we are seeing very interesting thing actually, that how Varadev responded in emergency. Hiranyaksha was giving him bad words and he was feeling that. He was feeling pain, but still he didn't. So in our life also, when we have something going on like this, that whether our devotional service or because everyone pulls our legs in the material world actually. So in that time, we have to be very tolerant, but our first priority should be the devotional service. So here we can see the Bhagavad Gita says that we should be equal in praise and criticism. But here we can see that Supreme Lord is breaking that those whatever he said in Bhagavad Gita, because he gets angry, and then later on, after he took care of devotee, he he punished, because that's a Lord's job also. Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bharata abhyutanamo dharmasya. um, so he comes and kills the demons, the the bad elements of the society. So that's his function. That's why he did like that. It's not like he he's breaking his law. Actually, that was his duty, and that's what he did. Similarly, when Mayavadi says that he has no legs, he has no feeling, he has no eyes, so actually, Lord is telling that those people are in illusion. So people who are Mayavadis and atheists, they are in completely illusion, because they should not think this way, because Supreme Lord has all the feelings, and if we can see, why he cannot see? So absolute truth, the Supreme Lord, he also has the feelings, he also has emotions. So as we have it. So when Varadev was actually pained by these attacks of the harsh word. See, in our case, what happens if somebody tells us bad words, what we do? We respond right away. We start yelling at him, why you are saying me these things like that. And because why we do? Because we have false ego that I am elder than him, I'm bigger than him, I have bigger position than him, I have more money than him. How come he can tell me all these words? So this is so actually we respond this with our feelings of our I and our mind. But this I and mind actually is the bad thing what we have, because we aham mameti. This is called aham mameti. So when we see this I, this is mine, all these things. So this is our false ego actually. This is the false ego because we relate ourselves with our body. So our ego, Lord Krishna doesn't have any ego. He has the real ego. So Lord experiences emotions, but he uses his real ego because he is actually real proprietor. Krishna says, Bhuktaram yakitapasam sarvalokameshwara. So he is the owner of all material world and all spiritual worlds. So if he has pride, that's his real ego, it's not false ego. We have false ego. We came empty hand and we are going to get empty hand. Everything to us is supplied by the Supreme Lord. So what kind of ego we have? We should not have any kind of ego, but whatever ego we have is a false ego because it's going to be taken away. All nothing belongs to us actually. If we think that way. I heard one of the class by Yugal Kishore Prabhu, and he was telling that he had little ego, that I'm devotee, I'm chanting like that. But and I read Bhagavatam, I give classes, so he had little pride in him, and I'm so humble and all those things. So people had, so he said, I have some pride. But then when Radhanath Maharaj's class is heard, and he said that we are at our size is 1/10, 10,000 of the tip of the hair. And we are not this body, we are our Atma. Sir. And this is the size of our Atma. So we can see how tiny we are. The biggest microscope in the world also we cannot see that, our Atma. So we are so tiny. And what kind of pride we have? So he said that my whole pride was finished when Maharaj said these words that what kind of pride we should have? We should not have any pride. We are so tiny and testimonial. So we are nothing actually. So we should not have any pride. But this is very hard in Kali Yuga. And only by associating with the great acharyas, great devotees, we can actually remove our pride. Otherwise, private pride all the time stays in some extent in everybody whosoever lives in this material world unless we take shelter of the Guru like Srila Prabhupada and and follow his instructions very seriously. So Krishna is on the platform of true identity. We are on the false identity that I am this, I am this, my name is this, I'm Indian, I'm this. So all these things actually gives us the wrong idea. Our real identity is the Jiva Swarupa Krishna and Nityadas. So Krishna actually we can see he possesses many wonderful attributes. And out of all these attributes, one such attribute is the compassion. So Krishna has so much compassion to all living entities, everyone. So we can see, so we will discuss little bit about the compassion because in this one, we can see that how Lord was compassionate to the demigods and Mother Earth, that he didn't take care of the abusive words. He could have taken care right away, but he delayed that let me take care of the earth first. So he was very compassionate towards Mother Earth, and that's why he just tolerated these things. So we can see the similar kind of thing example in the history when Vidurji was insulted by Duryodhan that you are eating our food and you are giving favor to the Pandavas, you are towards their side, and and he didn't care about them. Whatever advice he was giving, to he was not listening. Duryodhan and his father Dhritarashtra were not listening that, so he actually quietly left. Rather than fighting that I did this thing for you or I'm your brother, I'm I'm the chief minister, I'm the prime minister. So he didn't say anything, any of this. He just quietly heard the abusive language of Duryodhan, and he put his Dhanush Ban, everything, on the corner at the door side, and he just left. And he was thinking that Krishna is so merciful to me, rather than I'm kicked out like that. He was not blaming Krishna for this, but he was saying that Krishna is so merciful to me. He is giving me the chance that I have enough time now to go to pilgrimage. And he started going from one holy dham to other holy dham to other holy dham. So all over the India he went to different holy dhams, and he met Uddhavji and later on Maitreya Muni in Haridwar. And so it was his great luck. He was Dharmaraj, so he wanted to see all the good things, rather than just staying in the palace and seeing Duryodhana every day. So it was Krishna's mercy, actually, he can do that. Similarly, we can see how Putana, who came with the poison on her breast, and he wanted to kill Krishna. But see, Krishna was so merciful that he gave her the liberation and actually made her a Dhaima, which is give her post of a mother. So you can imagine how bad intentions she had. But Krishna was so merciful because she got mercy of Yashoda Maya. Yashoda Maya allowed her to hold the baby Krishna, also to feed, to that she can give milk to Krishna. So actually, Krishna respected that thing, and she came as that intention that I will feed Krishna. Even the bad intention, Krishna sees only good in us, not bad in us, and that's why there is very nice sloka. Aho bakiyam istan kalakutam jingan sayapaya yadapi asadvi lebe gatim dhatri yuchitam tatonyam kim kamva dayalu sharanam rajema. So we can see whose shelter we should take, who can be more merciful than Lord Krishna. So we can see how merciful Krishna is, and there is no one else we can take shelter of, because Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead, and He provides us everything. He takes care of us all the time, and He is our well wisher. So we should actually all the time think about that and meditate on Krishna. Krishna says that I am your father, Sarva Yanishu Kontaya Murtaya Sambhava Ya Tam Brahma Mahat Niram Aham Bija Pita Prabhu. Bija Pradah Pita. So I am the seed giving father of all the Jiva souls. So he is our father. So and he is telling in us in Bhagavad Gita, Sarvadhamam Paritejya Mam Ekam Sharanam Vaja Aham Tam Swarapapebhya Mokshayashami Ma Suchaha. So he is saying that abandon all variety of religion and come to me. So we should, there are so many false religion in this material world. So we should see what helps in our devotional service, and we have to follow that, not otherwise. So Krishna is so merciful, and if someone does some bad work in our society, see somebody murders or rapes or whatever bad things, he robs somebody, then what happens? He goes to judge, and judge punishes him, give him the jail for life prison, or or hang him, something like that. But see what, even if that guy says, that, oh my lord, I'm very sorry what I did, please excuse me, I will not do that but law will not listen. You will get punished either way, whatever you say, because you did something bad. But see how merciful is Krishna. Like if like Hiranyakashipu or Ravana, anyway, they all were giving him so hard time and telling him bad words and everything. But see, they all got liberated as they were killed. They were killed by Krishna, or even they saw the Krishna in Mahabharata war. We see in Kurukshetra war, everyone who was on the battlefield, they all got liberated. So we can see how Krishna is mercy. Just by seeing at him, we can get liberation. So what to say by killed by Krishna. So Krishna is so merciful. And Krishna actually, whatever we do, he actually appreciates that so much. Even we do little bit, like little child, our child, sometime he comes, and we give him some candy or something. And one of the candy, he puts in father's mouth. Then how much father gets happy. So everything Krishna gave us, and if we give little bit donation or little food, like little bhoga we take to the temple, we feel pride in it. But that's that's the way the Krishna gets happy, Even everything belongs to Krishna, but we have to offer him something. So that way Krishna gets happy. So and Krishna actually feels so much gratitude from whatever we do. If we do something good, Krishna actually feels gratitude for that. So we can see how, like all the gopis, Raj gopis, they were doing so much, when he played the the flute, then all the gopis ran to him and take part, because gopis wanted that. That's why Krishna did that. But he tells the gopis that you did so much for me, I cannot pay it. And in any time, I have no power to pay you back. Even we can see the example of Sudama. Sudama came like that and he didn't ask him, but Krishna knew that he is in very poor condition and his wife said, Krishna is Antaryami. He is sitting in everyone's heart. He is sitting in Sudama's wife's heart also. So he knew that why Sudama's wife sent him. Sudama didn't ask Krishna anything. But when Sudama returned back, then he saw the big palace and everything. Krishna gave him much more than he needed. So Krishna is so merciful. And we should always feel that way. So if we think that way, see, we take birth in birth after birth, and we change so many times, like our bodies. Sometimes we are in dog's body, sometimes in cat's body. This time we are in human body by our own luck. But later on, if we don't do good, what will happen? We will go to animal life, plant life, insect life, parasites life, any life we can get. And then we will have the dog father, cat father. So we change the role like that body, but Krishna is the same, our father. Krishna is always our father and will be our father always in wherever, whatever body we have. So we should actually feel that way, that Krishna is taking care of us always and he is our father and we should worship him all the time. So let us read some more things about compassion of the Lord. Let us discuss. There are so many stories in Bhagavatam and Bhagavad and Mahabharata. So one such story is a story of the Sibi, King Sibi and Hawk. So King Sibi was very pious. It is described in Srimad Bhagavatam also, Mahabharata also, Ramayana also. So he was a great king. So he was the king of in the southern India, and he was very philanthropic. He was giving all the gifts. So one time, Indra and Agni, they thought to take his examination that how much philanthropic he is. So they, so Indra and Agni took the uh, like body of a hawk and doe, So hawk was chasing the doe, and then doe running, running, running. Then he ultimately came to King Shibi and went in his lap. So King Shibi hold him with his hand, and then the hawk came, and he said that this is my food, let me eat it. So King Shibi said that he took my shelter, I will not give it to you. So then there was lot of argument. He said that all the time one animal eats other animals. So he's my food. I was behind him, So you give me back that dough so I can eat him. Then ultimately, what happened? After all the discussions, the hawk said that give me. He said, you can take my meat, you can eat me. He said, I don't need more meat than the weight of the dough. So he started slicing his own meat, his own muscles. But then he cut off larger pieces, still the the weight of the dough was more than whatever he put. And then ultimately he sat down on the scale. Whole body still he could not like his weight was not more than a dough, which is so light weight. So then Indra and Agni actually came in their real thing, that I'm Indra and I'm Agni, and they told that I was examining you, but you actually cut all your body, and still, so we know that how charitable you are, and they really appreciated that. So, so this way, actually, we can see how King Sibi was keeping his promise, and so they actually blessed him, and then ultimately, for his, he was so compassionate towards that doe. So we can see the compassion. And other compassion, we can read the history in Srimad Bhagavatam of King Rantidev. King Rantidev was another king. So he had no material ambitions, and he was doing lot of the fastings and austerities. So, and he enjoyed doing the austerities. He never struggled to accumulate the money, because he was saying that the population is poor and I should not loot them. Like now, we pay taxes. Taxes are so much, that people hardly money remains after all the taxes and all the expenses. So that's why people are struggling, but still taxes has to be paid. So, but Rantidev, if somebody is poor, he will not charge him any tax or anything like that. So one time to test him, he was very much compassionate to all the people. So one time he had the long fast for many months, and then after the long fast, his wife made him some prasadam that okay, now today is the fast breaking day after 45 days. 45 days he was not drinking or eating anything. So after 45 days, his wife brought some prasadam, plate of prasadam to him. And at that time, the demigods thought that let us test the Rantidev, how he is. So, all the family members also could not eat because there was only one plate of prasadam. He never cared about the money, so there was not too much prasadam. So it was thought that he will eat little bit and then his wife will eat something, like that. So at that time, the one Shudra came and he wanted some share of his prasadam. He said, please give me, I'm very hungry for so many days. Please give me some food. So that Shudra got some prasadam from him. So very less prasadam left there. Then at that time, Chandal comes with the dog. And then he gave the remaining food to Chandal and the dog, that they are satisfied. And after that, he thought, I still have one cup of water, let me drink. And as soon as he lifted the glass, took it near the mouth, then what happens? Some other beggar comes and he says, I'm very thirsty, I didn't get anything to eat or anything. So then King Rantidev gave him the glass of water also, and he was fully satisfied. So we can see the compassion And even, he was so hungry and thirsty after 45 days of fast. He didn't care about him. He was so compassionate. So compassion should be in our life. Otherwise, what kind of person we are. So they're very nice. He was at the verge of death. Still, he didn't care about his own death. And so Krishna has 64 super excellent qualities. And out of that, this compassion stands out very nicely. We can see by the different examples that he is so compassionate. So living entity who are part and parcel of Krishna, they should be compassionate also, because Krishna is giving us the gift of compassion. So we should also reciprocate that way, and we should be compassionate towards other people. And Krishna is the super reservoir of all the compassion. And so when Krishna actually entered in the battlefield of Kurukshetra, then he Arjuna actually requested him to be his chariot driver. And chariot driver, as we all know, is very lowly post actually. But Krishna took it just to help his devotee. And and on the chariot when he was sitting, Krishna was Krishna was kicked by Arjuna so many times, because you don't tell where to take the chariot, go fast or slow down or go left or go right. Krishna was giving all this instruction by kicking him on his back. So he he got so many kicks by Arjuna, but still he tolerated that. He was so compassionate towards his devotee. So, and we can see that Bhishmadev, he broke his own promise for Arjuna. He said that I will not lift any weapon. But we can see when Bhishma was almost ready to kill Arjuna, at that time to save the Arjuna, he he Krishna lifted the wheel of the chariot, Chakrapani. So we can see how compassionate he is towards his devotees. He can break his own promise, but he will still protect his devotee. So that's a great, wonderful thing Krishna has. And we can see Chaitanya in the form of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Also, we can see that how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu showed mercy to all his devotees at that time. He freely delivered the love of Godhead to everyone. He was dancing, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was dancing in the streets, and that's that's Krishna's actually, and that's what we all are following in his footsteps. That Hare Krishna movement is actually dancing on the streets and distributing Krishna's name freely to everyone, and that's also Krishna's mercy actually. So when we chant on the order of Srila Prabhupada or our spiritual master 16 rounds every day, we should do it very carefully, not just for the sake of finishing, but we should put our heart into that and do it in the Brahma Muhurta. And sometimes even we pronounce separate word Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, but still our mind is somewhere else. So we should make sure that our mind is here when we are chanting in the Hare Krishna names of the Lord, rather than somewhere else. That what I'm going to do today, making the to-do list, our mind should not be there. Our mind should be. So Prabhupada actually gave us very nice process taking, and we should actually take advantage of that. That how we should actually live in this life. Prabhupada gave so many things. So what are the takeaway lessons for today's verse actually? That our true strength is compassion, not our aggressiveness. Sometimes we get so aggressive doing things. So Krishna shows us what is the real power. Real power to be living calm and controlled. And we should be all the time in goodness. We should never leave our goodness. because Satogun is the characteristic of devotees. That's the basic requirement for a devotee to be in Satogun. So we should not have any pride or anger or those kind of things, enmity towards anything, and we should not worry about domination or that I have to be angry, with this guy. This guy is telling me this and this thing. We can see in this example in today's verse that how Krishna was tolerant and compassionate. And actually, if we have ego, that will blind us actually. We should not have any kind of ego. We should have true ego that I am servant and servant of Krishna. So that ego should have. And if we are humble, so our humility will connect us to the Supreme Lord. So why Hiranyaksha, we can see he was killed by Krishna. Why he was killed by Lord Vishnu? Because of his pride and his arrogance. So actually pride and arrogance actually lead us to our downfall. At the same time, humility actually opens the door for a spiritual world. So we should see what is beneficial for us. So Krishna's protection may be slow sometime it may be dramatic. Suddenly we can get Krishna's mercy, but sometime it is very slow. Sometimes why Krishna is not merciful to me? We think many times like that. But Krishna's mercy is on us, on his devotees, constant mercy. He all the time gives us. Sometimes he doesn't give us things which is not helpful to us in our bhakti. So Krishna will not give that, but we should not think otherwise. We should think that Krishna is so merciful to me. Whatever he's giving, I should just accept that rather than complaining. So Krishna gives many times, in subtle ways. We do not know how Krishna gives the things. Krishna gives us some kind of knowledge to us, and that's why when we do the bhakti seriously, our knowledge slowly increases, and we think our attachment also towards the material things gets less and less. So if we see that my interest in the food and in enjoying this material opulences and things are getting less and less, that we should think that this is Krishna's mercy only. By us, Krishna does ahetu kripa many times. Many times he does in subtle ways. Brings the compassion to us, but sometimes we don't feel that. But we should all the time think, and he give us guidance also all the time, and he give us inner strength, and he give us many opportunities. So, but we don't thank Krishna for that. But Krishna all the time to all his devotees, he does that. So this chapter, actually 6 chapters, shows the divine compassion of Lord Krishna, how he is worried about the welfare of all the living entities, not just the devotees, but he is a father, is well-wisher of all his children. Similarly, Krishna is well-wisher. Even some people does bad things, still Krishna loves them. And he, in this shloka, we are seeing that he is worried about cosmic protection, because whole Earth planet was down the earth, so he has to come and he restore the balance. So when this world is disturbed, Krishna comes. That's why he says, Yada Yada Hi Dharma Shanglanir Bhavati Bharata. He all the time comes and he helps. So, and Krishna says that our ego actually leads to the destruction. But our dharma, if we follow the dharma, it will lead to peace. Because in Kali Yuga, actually, getting peace is very durlabh, very hard. But we can get that peace only by performing our devotional service. Then we can get peace. And even we can see that even the enemies actually receives spiritual benefit from the Krishna, even though they don't think about Krishna, they all the time abusing Krishna, still Krishna is merciful to them too. So how we can apply this Krishna's compassion in our daily life? So actually we should respond to the people who are in difficulty, and and they do not know what is the real religion, we should tell them, explain them that what is our real dharma. And we should never get angry. Like we can see Varahadev never got angry to Hiranyaksha's harsh words, and he quietly tolerated it, and he didn't have any anger at that time. And we should set boundaries that what we have to do and we should not do. So even towards enemy, we should be actually kind. That's what is dharma. So Krishna was so kind, even to Haranax, which was telling him bad words and did so much damage to the Earth planet, but still he was so merciful and he liberated him. So this is all Krishna's greatness and his mercy. So I will end here. Thank you for listening. And we still have 5-10 minutes, 5-7-6 minutes. So anybody has any questions, comments, we can discuss it. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much, Prabhu. I just calculating my time, I was a little late. I should have been earlier than this. And at least I could listen some class.
Okay. Thank you.
I'm in Vizag, Visakhapatnam, Andhra.
All right, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Anyone else has any comments or any questions?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare
I
Krishna.
have this question, this Chakshus mantra, that happened, churning of ocean, and this Hiranyaksh
Yes.
story also, but how they are connected?
No, they are not. Krishna's different leelas. He took so many incarnations in that Manvantara. Krishna took so many incarnations. Like the Samudra Manthan, he took 3 incarnations himself, That he became the Kurma avatar is there. And then he took the different avatar, where he was holding the rod. So Manthan can go. And he was helping the Devatas in different ways. He took the Mohini avatar also, Mohini Murti. So that he distributed all the nectar to all the.
Which Manvantara, Prabhu? Which Manvantara?
Chakshus Manvantara. 6th Manvantara. Yes, in that Samudra Manthan Leela was in that Manvantara. So
Kurma avatar also happened during that time?
Yes, because of Samudra Manthan Kurma avatar has there because the rod was moving on the Kurma.
Yeah.
He went at the bottom of sea and he tolerated all the rubbings because he wanted he rubbing his back, So yeah, the rod, give a lot of rubbing.
That was how much pain he must have had.
And that kurma was about how much? 8,000. I do not know how miles long. It's not a small kurma, but we see in the river, he was really, really, really big.
And the rod was also rod also. Serpent was that? I don't know. Oh.
What is it? I didn't understand.
This rod on the kurma.
That was the Mandara mountain.
Mountain, yes, Mandara mountain.
Yes.
Okay.
And the rope was the Vasuki Nag. Yes.
Vasuki, yeah, okay. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Very nice class on compassion. Yeah, gratitude. Thank you.
Thank you, Mataji. Anyone else want to say anything? Otherwise, we can close here. Vancha kalpatarubhyasya kripa sindhubhyev cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Koti Vaishnav Vrinda ki jai. Prabhupada ki jai.
Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu.
You're looking nice, Mataji, in India.